you might not be familiar with our next guest personally, but you have definitely used the app that she co-developed and owns. It is, of course, InstaShop, the leading online marketplace for supermarkets, pharmacies, pet shops and other businesses in the Middle East. In 2020, it was acquired by Delivery Hero. They're a Berlin-based global takeaway giant for a whopping $360 million, making it one of the region's largest acquisitions and making this lady's time very valuable indeed. And we're very, very pleased that Ioanna has agreed to come into the studio. Ioanna Angelidaki is the co-founder and chief marketing officer of InstaShop and is sitting opposite me right now. Hello, Ioanna. How are you?
Hi, Georgia. You got me so excited.
Well, we're excited to have you in the studio. Your app is now available in 9 countries. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Tell me a little bit about yourself. You were born in Greece. You have a marketing degree. What brought you to Dubai?
So, yes, I was born in an island, actually, of Greece, Crete. So, the typical summers by the beach. I kind of have a marketing degree, but not exactly. So, I'm a mechanical engineer. Quite far from what I'm doing, but I always, had this bug. I came to Dubai. I think I'm here like 5 years. So far.
Only
2017, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, at the beginning I was working remotely.
That's very quick, 0 to 360 million, Georgia. That's
No.
quick.
I mean, I've been here 7 years. Puts me to shame. I've got about £6.90 in my account.
You know what? On that, there's a story that's very interesting, and I would like you to share that story with us because people think that, as I just did that, cracked that joke, that it's just, you come in 0 to 360 in 5 years, and everything you do just works and it's great and whatever. You and co-founder John Tsiori,
Yes,
who's the CEO of the company, made an app called Vound before InstaShop, I think, and that wasn't successful. Why do you think that was the case? And tell us a bit about that story, because it's important for people to realize that it's okay if you fail. You just get up and you try again, and sooner or later you will succeed.
actually we were very lucky to have failed first in order to get to InstaShop. So it's like a prerequisite. Like you said, there's always like so much fluff and like stardust around entrepreneurship. Like, no more 9 to 5, do what you love and you will never work
Follow
a day in your
passion.
life. Yeah. Which is also cool, but no one talks about the failures. No one talks about how hard it is. No one talks on how I haven't had vacations for 6-7 years and counting.
Wow, that's very interesting.
But it's all part of the journey. So Vound, we started 2013. It was very, very different from InstaShop. Both me and John had this this bug that you want to do more, you want to create, you want to explore what you can do. And we started. At that time, it was also the hype of social. So we said, what's better than a social network and what's better than marketing it globally, which for a person, me, no shade to myself. My background was, I was a secretary. That was my first job. Then I studied marketing by myself. I did freelancing and then boom, social network. I did not have the tools and experience needed.
So Vound, you started it, it was a complete failure, and you said to yourself, the best thing to do is now to start again.
Yes, so we were actually...
You weren't discouraged by the failure, you weren't...
Looking back, I don't know how we managed, to be honest. We were 2015 on the verge of bankruptcy because we invested money, time, we quit our jobs with John. So we were literally on the verge. We had a call with John and we were discussing what to do. And all of a sudden he says, my supermarket order again. They keep getting it wrong. Wait a minute. What if we pivot? And then I was like, okay. And thinking back, it sounds so easy, but it's so hard letting go of something that you put so much time on. But it was the right decision.
That's a great story, actually.
That is an amazing story. The germination of the idea, just coming from a genuine inconvenience in one of your lives. Yeah. But I mean, to go from there to the 360 million, to orchestrate that idea into what is essentially a services sector with a lot of moving parts. I mean, you said that you didn't have the experience for the social media, but did you have the experience for the managing thousands of bikes moving in opposite directions and picking up from supermarkets and dropping off in other places?
Yeah.
How did you learn that? What was the germination of that company? How did it start?
It was a very steep learning curve. It still is, actually. You learn every day. It never stops. And throughout the journey, since before Vound, there are, big failures, big successes, and for every single thing, you learn something. And the good thing, which I think made a difference for InstaShop, is that we started and we're still expanding hyper-locally. So we started with no app at all. We started with just selling the idea to a local supermarket, and then we developed the app, very basic. And then we developed it more based on what our users wanted. So I think this is the key on starting small, analyzing the market, and then slowly learn and evolve.
Ioanna, I want you to focus here and think with me, because I really want the right answer to this.
Ooh.
At what point did you realize that this project was going to be a big hit?
Me?
You, yes. What? There must have been some point where you said, "My God, we might do very well here, or we might explode and become huge."
It has. We've always discussed this with the team on the potential, but because we are always running and we're always on our toes, you don't exactly realize it, because that means also that we're never comfortable, right? But when you ask me that and I look back, we got our first investment, for example, 2016, less than a year from when we launched, and that's amazing, right? We got featured in Forbes 2016. So if I look back, I think, listen, it was obvious, small things. And then, of course, Delivery Hero came, and that was a token of success. You take a moment, you stop, and you say, okay, that's huge.
Speaking of Delivery Hero, did they find you, or did you actively look for an acquirer, or was it a mix of both, where you were kind of looking around and then they heard that you were looking around? How did that happen?
Yeah, we weren't actually. The thing is, the same team from day one as today with us, so we were always on the long term. So, for example, the developer who made this app, the day one, which is so simple, he's now head of iOS. So everyone is here, so we were all for the long run. And then Delivery Hero came, and we thought, wait, this is the industry leader. And we met them, and we saw that we like, because it's also personal, right?
Of course.
So, yeah, we considered the potential and went for it.
Fantastic.
How much do you think of your success is down to the marketing strategy, which, of course, you had your kind of marketing degree, and how much of it was due to the practicalities of actually getting the bikes on the ground and learning the local habits?
It's a mix of everything, actually. I would say marketing-wise, our strategy has changed so much, which makes sense because it goes hand in hand with how the industry evolves, and which is ever-changing. And it also depends on the company level at that moment, right?
Yeah.
So it was...
And your budgets, of course.
For sure, definitely. And we've always been lean, right? Because we're here for the long run. So I would say the most important thing is, first of all, being aware and being flexible, whatever it is. Is it marketing? Is it operations? Whatever it is, you need to be aware of what's happening around you in the industry.
Super. What's the next big thing after InstaShop now? Any plans? Anything in the talks? Any ideas?
After InstaShop?
Yeah.
I mean, we're here. We're not going anywhere.
So now with the acquisition, you're staying and you're continuing for.
Yes,
you think there's a lot of space still to grow?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
The team is still here. We're growing. Did you know we're delivering in Greece?
No, I did not know that.
So I'm combining vacations with with work.
That's
in
great.
Greece.
I think you really need to develop Mykonos for a few months.
Yes. And then do Ibiza. I mean, people love things being delivered to Ibiza.
We're taking notes.
Yeah, excellent.
Brilliant. Amazing. Thank you. you so much for your time. Really, thank you for coming in. It's been an absolute pleasure to speak to you and to hear about your inspirational story. And you're incredibly modest in your success, and we love that. It's
Can I
pretty
just
awesome.
do a quick shout out to Renad, who used to be with us and who's
Yes.
now with InstaShop. She used to be an intern when she started with Virtuzone in marketing, and we're very happy with her that now she's with InstaShop.
We get the best people.
Under the auspices of Ioanna. Yes, exactly.
Thank you
There we
both.
go. Amazing. Ioanna Angelidaki is the co-founder and chief marketing officer of InstaShop. She's a complete inspiration, and it's been fabulous having her in the studio.